And we're back. Episode 9 of the Ghost Files. We got a good one today. We got a double whammy, 2 guests on. Aaron and Kyle, welcome to the podcast. Say what's up to the people.
What's up to the people?
How we doing, everybody?
Yeah, very, very nice, very nice. We just got to start off by saying that it took us a little bit to get started because Kyle thought we were using Google Meet instead of Zoom.
We had some technical difficulties, but we persevere. We get through. No harm done.
Now we're here. We're live, so we're good. Definitely. So for the people at home that don't know you, maybe explain yourself to the people, to the listeners.
Aaron, you want to go first?
Yeah. I'm 5'8", 165. I gotta do it to them. No, I'm a senior at WA. And I'm a big fan of the Ghost Files. I'd say one of the biggest. Listened to most of the episodes, except Ellie's. I haven't listened to hers.
Nah, I'm not listening to that one.
Yeah,
a tough one. I feel like. Me, name's Kyle, senior WA as well. Have listened to a couple of the Ghost Files. Have been very intrigued by the content, so I thought it was only necessary that I get a spot, and Aaron said that he wanted to do as well, so I thought it'd be the perfect dynamic for another video on the Ghost Files.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Perfect. So usually how we start off, we ask about senior year. So how's the year been going so far for you two?
Well, it's like every year, in the sense that like academics and stuff, but the thing that really kind of sucks is like the everything else besides that. That's just kind of taken away with us. It's kind of school's kind of bare bones a little, so we're getting through, but hopefully it'll get better. So
I don't know. I feel like people kind of give it a bad rap. I'm not saying that it's a good thing, but I feel as if so far people have sort of just been negative towards senior year because of all the online time and the stuff taken away. And don't get me wrong, like obviously that's hard not being in school all the time, just having the regular schedule and not having all the sports and spirit rally and stuff like that. But I mean, you make the best of it. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, still you're getting all your academics and you still get to see your friends here and there, get to stay home and sleep in sometimes, it's not that bad, but obviously it does kind of suck in all that stuff taken away from us that we didn't even know was going to happen.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like you said, people kind of like make it worse than it seems. Like it definitely could be worse, I feel like, for us, but yeah, it was definitely unexpected. So we're like halfway through the year. Is there anything you guys are looking forward to the second half of senior year?
Baseball is a big one. That actually, I talked to the coach today, and we were saying it's a really good chance that's going to happen. So, really excited for that. I guess like kind of like the summer more than the school year that I'm looking forward to. But besides that, there's not something glaring.
Yeah, if I had to say anything, I'd pretty obviously be baseball, and just to be honest with you, just having any form of sports that we can go watch back, that'd be nice. But I don't know, really anything that the school can muster up that would give us some sense of what a senior year could really feel like. Anything like that, baseball, and then finally getting a capstone like we've always wanted to, and then finally having our senior summer and just going crazy.
Yeah, 100%. Hopefully we can kind of turn this corner into like a better spring and summer.
For sure.
So one of the biggest parts of senior year, obviously, we talked about a few of them, but one of them is obviously the college process and, dealing with that. So where are y'all at with that? And Like, what's your moves looking like?
So I'm done with it. I committed to the University of Toronto like last week, I think. So that should be pretty fun.
Claps. Yep.
Yeah, give it up for the man.
Clap it up.
Come on.
Clap it up.
Give it up for the man.
Nice.
How's that? Oh, okay.
Short and simple.
You're gonna keep going.
Well, yeah.
As for me, I got most of my apps in pretty early, but I just finished up my last two to USC and one other, and then I've got accepted into a good amount of schools, but obviously still need to tour. I'm not really sure 100% what I really want to go to yet, but I definitely would say my front runners are probably either something like UConn or USC or something like that.
So USC as in
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Okay, I got you. Very nice. Very nice. All right, these are like two separate questions, I guess. So obviously, Aaron, you're one of the few guests that are actually committed. So why did you decide on your school and to take your next 4 years there?
Well, it's kind of a combo of reasons. At the beginning of the college process, kind of like last fallish, I guess, 2 falls ago, I guess. Like the fall of junior year, I was thinking I'd kind of want like a smaller school, I guess, because I mean baseball was a big. I mean, like at that point, it kind of was a big deciding factor almost. And I wasn't going to be playing at like a huge school because I'm just not that good. But so I toured some schools. I think it was actually the Spirit Rally weekend in junior year fall. And so I toured like some small schools down in Pennsylvania, and then I toured Drexel in Philly. And I really liked like the big city atmosphere. I kind of just kept that in the back of my mind. I was like, if I could go somewhere where I could be in like a big city and play baseball and have like some pretty good academics, then that would be really good. And then I guess kind of I was planning on kind of doing the baseball part last summer, but I mean that couldn't really happen too much with COVID. So I pretty much just took some video of myself. Well, my dad took it, but playing, and I just sent it to a few coaches, and Toronto wasn't really super high on my list. I didn't really know too much about it, but my sister had toured it, and I was there, and I was like, nice campus and everything. And then I really started looking at Canadian baseball, Canadian schools, and just like the high academic portion of U Toronto and in the city, and the baseball aspect just really did it in for me.
There you go. You got the baseball, you got the city, you got the academics. What more do you need?
Exactly.
All right. On the flip side, Kyle, obviously you're not committed yet, but you said you got some front runners. So what what stands out to you for those top schools right now?
For sure. At least for me, I definitely would say I want a bigger college vibe, just like obviously just like bigger, like a lot of people to see, a lot of people to meet, more of a party vibe, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
So USC mostly for me. I know a couple people that go there, especially Ryan Durgan, who just graduated last year. He said he really likes it, and I've heard a bunch of stuff what he's doing there. So obviously, I want to go tour there soon and maybe go visit him. So that'd be awesome. And then as for UConn, I feel like as for right now, since I haven't necessarily really been able to tour anywhere in person, I've only been able to really look online at pictures and stuff. As for right now, I feel like UConn's just like a big name, which is sort of not the best way to go about it. But as for right now, UConn is just a big name for me. I feel like that's a really good school, especially for me. I want to go into some form of business. and UConn and USC have a very good business program. So that was definitely two reasons why those two are definitely on the top of my list. Other than that, USC is warm. Kind of want to get out of the snow.
Yeah.
And then as for UConn, it just seems like a cool place to be. Obviously, I still have to go tour everywhere and see. And obviously, those two front runners could change in an instant when I go and tour Fairfield,
Yeah.
URI, Quinnipiac, any of those. But, as for now, those are the top two, but could be subject to change very quickly.
Yeah.
Well, UConn
totally.
was nice and tropical, so that makes sense.
What did you say?
UConn's really tropical, so.
Yeah. I heard Storrs, Connecticut has a lot of palm trees and sand.
The water's so blue there.
Definitely. So yeah, we touched on college, but the next 4 years, well, hopefully will be a lot more than just college, for you guys. So is there anything that you kind of are looking forward to once you get out of high school to do, like that's not academic related?
I mean, obviously the baseball aspect of it, but I want to travel a little bit. I went to Israel the summer, freshman to sophomore, but I didn't get to stay for long. I didn't get to see everything, so I really want to go back there. But also just everywhere I kind of want to see. I mean, you only live once, so I feel like it's good to travel, see the world.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, for me, I definitely agree with the travel part. I think that's a good idea. But one thing that I feel like I'm kind of looking forward to that I feel like other people are, but they aren't really thinking about it, is just sort of getting just like financially set and just being able to like just have like a good space in my workplace and just getting good financials. Cause then I'll just be able to travel like without money problems or anything like that. And I don't know, just trying to see the open world, to be honest with you. We've been so confined to Westford and the Westford public school system for, well, our whole lives. So I feel like a change of scenery is quite due.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. I feel like like when you're in high school, it's kind of tough to travel because you're kind of balling on a budget. And also like, once you go to college, you kind of get this new like level of freedom in a way, so you can kind of like go and explore more. Like you said, go see what is outside of Westford, for sure. So yeah, that's definitely something I plan on doing as well. Let's see here. So I mean, let's get into probably the biggest topic between you two guys. WA baseball. Obviously, we got some two upper echelon WA baseball players here. So let's just start from the beginning. Why baseball for you guys, and like what has made you play the game for this long and enjoy it?
Well, I mean, for why baseball, I mean, I don't think any like little kid is like, you know what, out of all the sports, baseball's what I want to play. like you're standing around all the time. You're not really doing anything to like the random observer. So it's my dad's favorite sport. He's not the most athletic dude, but I mean he's a big fan. So that kind of pushed me to baseball. I played soccer. I wasn't good at it. I was on like the Division 4 team, like the worst travel team in the town. But then I started playing baseball, and I was always I had like hand-eye coordination at like age 10, so it was like I could hit a ball, so that kind of automatically put me as pretty good. So I feel like whenever you're good at something, you kind of like to stick with it. I mean, not to taste myself, but like, and if you're like a little better, it'll be easier to stick with it. So I just kept on playing, and I loved like playing with the boys at like U11. It'd be so fun.
U11 was the time.
It was.
What was the
The
time?
Junior Ghost. Oh,
Something else. As for me, people hate on Dr. Fish too much. And now we're going off topic.
As long as you're feeding the giant, never on his bad side.
We're going off topic here, but like Dr. Fish is a good guy.
The Dr. Fish slander has to end.
No, we're not
Put an end to the Dr.
the
Fish
end.
slander. No more of
Dude, you
it.
might listen to this. You never know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're saying positive things, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I mean, as for me, my dad played a variety of sports, but mostly baseball. He played baseball throughout his whole high school career, just like I am. So he almost went to college for baseball, but then obviously he went on to study weather and all of that, and he found that to be more important than playing baseball. But
Weather.
yeah, I don't know. Like when I was 9 or below, like me and my dad, like whenever he came home from work, he'd be in the summer, he'd be like, "You want to go hit the field?" And I was just like, "Oh yeah, absolutely." I mean, it's just something that I have grown up with, just kind of stuck with, and it's sort of been my rock since I was about yay high. So, you know, obviously I like baseball for the aspect of the sport and just how much enjoyment it gives me, but also it gave me my friend group with the boys. So that's obviously probably one of the biggest takeaways I could get away from baseball, along with all the other things that it gives me.
Yeah, I think like the biggest reason I stuck with baseball. Stuck should be a word. That should be a past tense of is just shows like the people. That might sound kind of cheesy, but like I don't think I stuck with baseball this long if almost all my friends are my best friends are from the sport. So I mean it's just a blast playing.
I would have loved baseball so fast. I'm not the type of person to like stand around and stuff like that, so I'm honestly kind of surprised that I didn't go for something more like football or something like that. But yeah, if it wasn't for the boys, I probably would have dropped baseball real quick, gone on to something a little bit more active, pursued basketball a little bit more than I did.
Interesting. That's an interesting take. I can definitely relate though, because when I played like volleyball in high school, well, I mean, obviously I still do. We're still in high school, but when you played WA volleyball, you're with all your lads, and it's just a good time. But you know, and then I do like a volleyball thing outside of WA, and I was like, damn, this is just not the same at all. So
yeah, it's really like the team aspect is bigger.
Having that team around you can definitely, you know, make you fall in love with the game a little more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like people like sports and all that just for like obviously the sports aspect, but people kind of breeze past the people that you play with. I feel like a little bit. Obviously, like you love those people and like you ride or die with those people, but at the same time, I feel like people just don't really realize like how much that sport has given them. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Let's see here. So we touched on baseball, but how do you think baseball has, you know, taught you, or maybe let me rephrase this. What has baseball taught you that you've carried like with yourself outside of, you know, the baseball field, like into the classroom or just anywhere in life?
Well, I mean, again, it's probably gonna sound kind of cheesy, but just like I remember, actually before like the town team started, I tried out for a team called Wolfpack. And I like really, it's like an AU team. I really wanted to get on this team, and I wasn't. I probably deserve not to make it. I wasn't very good at the time. I was all right, but and I didn't make it, and I was like, really, man? Like I was really upset, kind of. I'm like 10 at this point. So, and I was just really upset that I couldn't be on this like better team and that I couldn't play more. But then that fall, that's when like the Ghost started. Which is like a town AU team, and that was just like so much better than and also not to trash teams, but like Wolfpack, no bueno. But and then I got on the Ghost, and that was just so much fun, and that's like where I've got all my friends and stuff. And that's kind of told me that like everything, even if it like doesn't seem in the moment that it's going to be good, it's still, everything will turn out all right. Like, and it oftentimes better. So like for like real life, it's like, that's what I'm thinking for right now. Like maybe it stinks for like COVID and everything now, but I mean, maybe spring and summer, it's going to be like amazing. So.
Definitely.
As for me, I feel like there's quite the outlier of what something baseball has taught me, especially in my younger years. I'm not gonna lie, I was quite the crier when it came to sports.
Oh, buddy.
I was sort of in a mental puddle when it came to my early years of baseball, basketball, and probably quitting my first soccer event after about 20 minutes because I couldn't stop crying. So definitely mental toughness. It sort of just taught me to just like that who cares sort of aspect, just like move on, forget about it, just become better from it. I'd say that's definitely the biggest thing for me. Other than that, I'd probably just say confidence. I don't know, confidence and determination. Just keep working and keep going, because you don't get good at something just kind of sitting around. And when your buddies start getting better than you, gives you that competitive aspect of like, I can't fall behind.
I mean, going off of that, I mean, it's really like control. What like a big thing has been is like control what you can control. On the mental side, I mean, for example, like sophomore year, I really, really wanted to make varsity, and I had injuries, and to be honest, I didn't deserve to be on varsity sophomore year, but so I didn't make it, and I was really upset because I worked really hard. I didn't understand. So, and I mean, but again, I need to focus on things that I could control, and I couldn't really control what another coach thinks about me or whatever. So I just put my head down and worked, and again, something turned out for the better. I got to play a bit at the end of the year, was there for the playoffs. So it was just a kind of a learning experience about how you can only control what you can control.
Yeah. I can totally relate to mental toughness and just like worrying about like what's in your hands and not like what's in other people's hands. As someone growing up who led the Westford Rec League basketball in technical fouls, so
That's kind of an accomplishment. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean, it's an official record. I mean, ask any referee, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, definitely." But
I don't know. I remember you in Westford Rec baseball. You were being hitting them down the line pretty good.
I wasn't good enough at baseball to get mad at it, so I would just
that classic oppo swing, just right down the
line. Best extension in the game. 100%.
Really, I remember I was pitching to you. It was a ball like in like it's got to be like in the outer half of the other batter's box. It was a wild pitch, and you just poked it down. I was so pissed.
Yeah, that just shows my eye for the pitches, definitely. Let's see. So that's the baseball talk right there. Let's see what else is on my list here.
So studious, Dad.
Favorite high school memory. What do you think? What do you got?
Give me a thinker.
I mean, it's just like anything in high school, or
could be anything you want. Yeah.
God, I might need to bring it back to baseball, man.
Man, people aren't gonna watch the content if we just keep talking about baseball.
Anyway, so I mean, I wasn't playing in this game, but it was like the best, like being a part of the team that was doing it was like the best experience ever. It was sophomore year playoffs, and we were facing Newton North, and we were like very lower seed compared to Newton. Everyone thought we were gonna lose, and like the Newton fans, there were like, some old geezers were like, "You ain't in the TCL now, boy." So we got there. I mean, shout out Matt Lav through a gym, and we ended up walking that off. And I was even the one who was walking it off, or even playing in the game. But
we were sitting on the bench the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle and I were having fun on the bench. But the atmosphere was so fun. I mean, it was just something like that I was a part of that was just insane. The fact that I was a part of it. So that's probably my favorite memory.
I'm going to give you a sort of, I guess what you call a loophole to this question. It's not necessarily.
Where are you going with this, bud?
It's not necessarily a memory, but it's sort of just like starting to, like, it's going to sound weird, but like just starting senior year, to be honest with you, such just like a different aspect than all the previous years, to be honest with you, just like, especially with friends and like everyone just like within the school. Like, I feel like especially freshman, sophomore, junior year, like everyone was very confined to just like a friend group. Like if you go out of the friend group, someone will look at you weirdly. If you like start talking to other people, people are like, "Oh, what are you doing tonight? Like, why aren't you like hanging out with us? Like, what's the big deal?" But I feel like once senior year started, I feel like people started to get their head around the fact that like, oh, there's other people in this school. Like, we could go hang out with like other people right now. So I feel like people just like opening up and finally realizing that like there's so many cool people within WA that are like worth to take the time to talk to and just hang out with, and not just be like confined to just like one solitary group and just be super cliquey. I feel as if that is sort of just like my best high school memory, just finally realizing that like, you know, like you don't have to be confined to a group. Like you should be hanging out with different people. You just make new experiences every day, every week. It just makes high school that much better.
Yeah, I mean, on senior year, it's like once teachers start treating you as like kind of like adults instead of like little kids that need to be like punished and like that kind of stuff, like it makes school just such a better experience, especially just being in class. It's way more chill, it's a lot more laid back, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I could definitely see kind of the opening up you were talking about, where freshman and sophomore year is kind of more like cliquey in a way, and then come around junior year and then into senior year, you can see kind of like less of a group dynamic and people kind of more acting like a class. Definitely.
Yeah.
Which is awesome because, as you said, there's so many cool people. I just got a pop-up. Running out of time. This meeting will end in 10 minutes.
Bruh.
I never got. I don't have a Pearl account. All right. Okay. Speed run this. Here we go. Perfect transition to the next question. How do you think you've changed from freshman year to senior year the most?
I was pretty ugly freshman year.
I'm not gonna deny it, but like,
I don't know. I feel like I've definitely just matured kind of as a person. Like even like my sense of humor, I laugh at like the weirdest stuff, and now it's like normal. So I'm definitely like, I don't want to pump my own tire, but like I'm definitely more of a man coming out of high school than going in.
finally manned up.
I guess I also feel like I got a little out of my shell. I'd be like shy around people that I don't know more than I am now, and I feel like I'm a little more of like an open person who doesn't super duper care what people think of me as much as I definitely care what people think of me in like
Hmm.
freshman year, like eighth grade, that time.
Definitely playing off of that. I was definitely the type of person, like Aaron said, eighth grade freshman, maybe even a little bit sophomore year, where I was like, oh, I hope this person doesn't think bad about me, or especially going into like captain's practices with a bunch of seniors and stuff like that. I was so worried about my image, like just with them and just trying to fit in and stuff like that. But now hitting senior year, it's kind of just like, dude, like I don't really care. Like I could just walk around like doing a bunch of stupid stuff, and like I know like people are just gonna view me as long as I don't do anything too stupid, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So as long as I sort of stay somewhat within myself, but to be honest with you, just basically doing me and whatever really hits my mind and whatever I want to do, it's really not going to affect your image that much. So I don't really feel like it's that big of a deal what people think about you anymore. And I feel like that's something I wish I learned even earlier in life, but I'm glad that I know that now.
Yeah. 100%. I feel like growing into like maturing as you go along, it's definitely like a part of it is like getting out of your shell in a way where you kind of get that self-confidence that like I don't really care like what this person thinks or that person thinks. I'm gonna just do me, and that's like when you truly like kind of figure out your path for things. Definitely. Um, let's see. All right, looking towards the future, where do you want to see yourself in 5 years?
It's like an interview, damn. Um, um, 5 years. So out of college then.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, well, for one, I have a job. That'd be pretty cool.
Running
Uh,
my own business, millionaire.
yeah, like Fortune 500.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have a job and I'm like on my feet, living by myself. But I mean, besides that, I mean, I just hope that I have like a big group of friends who like care about me and that are just fun to be around. That because that's really like what I'm looking for is like in terms of success rather than I mean, obviously being rich is pretty nice, but I'm not looking to like make as much money as I can um, throughout my career. I'm just kind of looking to have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I'd sort of say the same thing. Just really being financially stable is sort of a big thing for me because as soon as you get there, then a bunch of possibilities open up for you, whether it's going to tour the world or obviously
Party.
having a family or just going to have a night with the lads and stuff like that. Like, you know, so as long as you get financially stable, get a house eventually, you know, settle down. But in the meantime, probably in 5 years through college, stuff like that, probably going to be a lot of interesting stories to tell. A lot of times with the boys still, and you know, we'll have to see what happens.
Mhm. Definitely. It's gonna be interesting looking back on this in like in 5 years and seeing like what's changed and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
That's why I think this is so cool because you can look back on this in like Spotify and just look up like Nate Fisher and just be like, no way that's what you're talking about. And now he's like a botanist or something like
Just something totally absurd.
that. Some flip, someone just flipped the switch and it's
It's like Nate
going the way.
Fisher on a mission to the moon.
He's an astronaut out of nowhere. All right, let's see. We got 4 minutes left. We're making good time here. Um, let's see. Biggest regret from high school.
Right. Um, Probably kind of just not coming out of my shell early enough. But I mean, that's also it comes with growing up. I think that's kind of like the course of events that you take. But I mean, like freshman year, I really wasn't like myself. I don't think I was just trying to be who I thought other people would want me to be. So
Mine would definitely be just sort of being more open to new experiences, such as like just like joining new sports and stuff like that. And I finally learned that like who cares about, like just playing baseball or like the atmosphere of different sports, even if you're new. Like me and Aaron were contemplating joining swimming and diving. And at a time, I was pretty serious about doing that, but it did conflict with some other stuff. So unfortunately, that did not pan out. But one of my biggest regrets would definitely be not pursuing something like basketball or football or maybe even hockey. It probably wouldn't be good enough, but one of those sports, just pursuing it harder and just becoming good in that, being a multi-sport athlete.
Yeah, I wish I played hockey when I was younger, so I'd be like good.
Cool.
Same.
Be dope.
If I got like, I don't know, I never just like went even ice skating like when I was younger. If I could have played hockey when I was younger and just like have
Never
a
forget my dad from
have a
playing.
blonde mullet now and just be nasty.
Will look good on you, Dad.
It would.
I bet in a alternate universe maybe.
Yeah, you never
Yeah,
know.
definitely.
And this hockey star.
I'm going to BU for hockey. Drafted number 1 overall.
Next Jack Eichel.
Yeah. All right. Here's the big finale question that we ask everybody. What would your advice be to freshmen coming into high school and WA?
I mean, the pool's always really cold, so you gotta be ready for that.
Yo, what did you just say?
Yeah, you don't know about the pool on the 3rd floor?
On the
Kyle?
3rd floor.
Oh, my bad. I just thought you were talking about like pools in general. I was like, oh man.
But really, kind of just try everything. I mean, there's so many things that I kind of wish I could have done, and they have like some weird like stigma around them. Like, I kind of wish I was like in debate club. Like, that sounds wicked cool, and I feel like I'd be good at it. But I'm not, and I never decided to join almost because there's like a stigma around it. So kind of just branch out and try things that like you don't even know if you're gonna like, but just try different things that interest you, and don't care about what people think of you or what you think people will think of you because you do them.
If I was able to talk to my freshman self again, I'd definitely probably give myself a slap in the face and just say like, go try all the things that you wanted to try. Because I remember as a freshman, at least going into high school, I definitely wanted to try like a million things, like football. I wanted to pursue basketball harder. I wanted to join like debate club, entrepreneurship club, like all of these different clubs, like all that stuff like that. And like Aaron said, there's a bunch of stigma around it, just being like, oh, like that's kind of weird. Like, why are you doing that? Like, dude, who cares? Like, if that's what I'm passionate about, like, yeah, why not? Let's just go for it. And the one last thing I'd say is just, I don't know, really, like everyone goes through ups and downs, to be honest with you. I know it's kind of cheesy, but really, no matter what up and what down you're going through, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. There's always good to come. So no matter what happens, just keep going for the light. It's good stuff.